My heart is so broken right now. I just taught you guys the procedure on what to do with your finished work. What's up, everybody? It is Miss May here, One Fab Teacher. I hope all is well with you guys. I am so excited to do this video for you guys today because summer is near. I have 18 days of school left, and I'm thinking about end of the year. I have to pack up all of my stuff and I have to bring it home because our school is going to be semi-remodeled. So I have to take everything home and store it in my garage, which is fine. But as I'm cleaning up and as I'm throwing things away and reorganizing, it just dawned on me, and I thought, you know what? This is the time of the year where I kind of start thinking about little things that I might want to change for the next upcoming school year. And so, and also, along with that, I also like to remember and write down the procedures and routines that I like to do with my first graders. Now, many of you have said, Miss May, can you give us more procedures for in your classroom? If you have not seen my video about restroom procedures, what to do when children need to go to the restroom or want to drink a water, I put a card right here, so just click it. It will take you to that video. That is one of my procedures that I shared on YouTube almost about a year ago. It was last school year. So anyway, this classroom management series is going to be all about procedures and any and everything that you can think of. Now, when it comes to procedures, I'm going to be honest. If you're a brand new teacher, if you're a veteran teacher, it is so important that you think about every single little thing that you want ran correctly. So, for example, I have a system with my bathroom procedure that works for me. I like it. It works. So that's what I use. That's what I've been using. So I gave you that example, you know, a while back. So one of the other procedures, I'm going to call this procedure number 2 because basically procedure 1 was the bathroom. I'm going to include that in this series as well. So procedure number 2 would be, how do you want your kids to turn in work? How do you want them to turn in their work? When they're finished with something and you need to grade it or look at it, how do you want them to turn that into you? As efficient as possible. You don't want loosey-goosey because then you get all this chaos around you, and you don't want chaos because you want your classroom to run really well. So I'm going to share with you guys my procedure for what kiddos do when they want to turn things in. Now, before kids even start turning things in, you have to explain to them what the procedure is, its purpose, and what it should look like and what it should sound like when they're doing this, when they're turning in their work. So what I use, I've used many different systems in my career, and I would say this system pretty much works best for me, and I'm going to share it with you. So without further ado, here we go. So what I do is I use a I use a crate, okay? And I use a crate because it's just easy, it's simple, and it just kind of gets to the point. And so what I use is a crate that isn't quite as big as like the huge file crates that you see out there. Let me see if I can get it without the reflection. So it says, I'm finished, Miss May. And of course it has melon heads because y'all know how I am about melon heads. But anyway, it's just a nice size crate. It's not too huge. It's not, you know, ginormous. It's just a nice little medium-sized crate. And all I do is I put file folders in there. This year with Hurricane Harvey and everything, like the last thing I really truly was thinking about was like, I need to go get file folders that are really cute and pretty and all that, because normally, yes, I do want them nice and cute, but you know what, the good old green ones work that are free at the school. We have all kinds of supplies that teachers are allowed to use, so I just grabbed that. So every kiddo, when I'm teaching this to my kids, you know, this is just basically how I roll. So boys and girls, this year when you are doing work, there are going to be some things that you need to turn into Miss May that I need to look at and that I need to see how you're doing with. And so everybody in our class is going to have a file folder, and this is going to be called your finished work folder. And so then after I explain that to them, and I tell them, it's very important that I get to see your wonderful work and how awesome you're doing, and to also see what I might need to help you on. And plus your families want to see your awesome work. So this is a good way for you to store all your finished work so that I can look at it. So then, like I said, I explain it to them, and then I just say, and I just take the file folder out, and I show them the box, and I'll say, this is our finished folder, and it says, I'm finished, Miss May. So this lets Miss May know that my firstie is finished. You always put your finished work in here. It's never, Miss May, where do I put my work? Miss May, what do I do with this? It's always when you are done with something. Unless I've given directions to put it somewhere else, it always goes in your file folder, in your finished file folder. So then, I explain that to them, and then I'll explain to them what it looks like, and I take one out and I show it to them. And so let's just say, for example, so I show it to them. I said, everybody has a file folder. Your name is at the top, and it's always going to be in the same spot. So then I teach them how to look for their name and how they put things in the folder. Now I teach them that I don't want them, I hope this is a pie enough, I don't want them, when they turn in work, I don't want them to lift it up out of here and then put their work in and then put it in there. I teach them that's not the firstie way to do it. And so what I explain to them is that what they need to do is they need to look for their name, and then let's just pretend this is Skyla. So I'm Skyla. Skyla looks for her name, and then she opens up, hope you guys can see, she opens up her file folder and she places her work nice and neatly inside and closes it up. And then she goes to her seat. And I explain to them the importance of them not taking the folder out, the importance of, I don't want to see papers going in like this. This is a hot mess express. So I explained to them that, Miss Maida, this is not what it should look like. Nobody's paper should be out like this. Everybody's paper should be nice and neat and tucked away in their finished folder. The only thing that I should see out is everyone's beautiful name at the top. And so then what I do is I just have them kind of practice. So then I'll say, I'm gonna take this out. So let's just say I'm like, okay, Austin, and I'll say, okay, we're gonna practice with Austin. And so then I'll have Austin come up. Austin comes, he looks for his name, he moves the file folder open, he pushes it open, he takes his paper and he slides it in there nice and neat, closes it up, done. And so we practice this. Like, I'll have them make a line, and it will take a while. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It will take a while because you have this long line, but we're practicing, we're being efficient, and it's being done the right way, the correct way. And anytime I see like a paper that's sticking out like this, oh, that person has to come and fix it. This is not what it should look like, friend. Please come make a wise choice and fix it. And they come and fix it. And so like the first week of school, it usually takes about the first week of school for them to really get the hang of it. But this system is really, really, really a good system for me. So this is a procedure that I teach at the beginning of the year, because they start doing things and they have to turn work in. And so I teach this procedure immediately, because usually about the second or third day I teach it to them, and it helps me. And like, for example, the reason why I like this system too is because like I can have people that come in my classroom who are trying to get information about a particular student. They can just check here, because I know in years past, and they just grab the stuff in their folder, take it out, look through it, and make their decision or whatever, and done. So this is a procedure. This is procedure number 2. I don't know how many procedures I'm going to have in this series, but it'd probably be a lot. But I'm just trying to think of the ones that are very, very important. So this is procedure number 2, turning in finished work. not unfinished work, but finished work. Work that is completed, that you can grade, that you can look over and look at. This is their finished folder. And it runs like a well-oiled machine, and we practice and practice and practice until it's done right. And then when it's done right, I mean, it runs smoothly. So I wanted to share this procedure with you guys. Just turning in finished work. I know I've seen people that have done mailboxes for finished work. Kids put their work in mailboxes. I've seen people where they just take a tray and all work goes in a tray. I've seen people where people have divided it by subject, you know, all math stuff, all reading stuff, all science stuff, you know, all math. Did I say math? Math, reading, science, writing, you know, language. I've seen it divided like that too. I've tried those different ways, and I will say this way for me works best for me. So I just wanted to share that tip with you guys. Just something to think about upcoming school year. Just something you can jot down in your notes. If you really wanted to stick it, you know, to stick to kids, you know, you guys know me. If you've seen my videos, I can be very dramatic in my classroom. And like, if you see a kiddo whose paper is out like this, you know, all you have to do is I'll just stop and say, oh my gosh, you know. And I make sure I don't show the name. You know, I turn this and face it my way, because I don't ever want to put a kid on blast like that. But I will. I'll stop and I'll say, oh my gosh, we could be in the middle of something, and I noticed this in the back of the room and there's paper out, and I'll say, oh my gosh, and I'll grab it and all the names are facing me. I'll say, my heart is so broken right now. I just taught you guys the procedure on what to do with your finished work. I taught you what it should look like when you put your finished work in your finished folder. We've practiced and practiced, and everybody did so amazing. But somebody did not put their paper in correctly. And I know mistakes happen, and I know this is new, so I'm gonna put it away for you. But please, please remember to put your papers back in nice and neatly when you put them away. And that's what I do. So I hope this helps you guys with the procedure on finished work. And this video is going into my classroom management series procedures. So until the next video, guys, stay prayerful and thankful, and don't forget to always pray, because God will always truly make a way. I love you guys so much. Hugs and blessings. Bye.